Hey guys, this is how to date when you're over 40. Sorry, over 50. So welcome everyone, I'm Tess. We're here to answer all of your questions. So what are your biggest sticking points with dating over 50? And the best thing we can do for you is help you smash through those sticking points. So give us your questions, We're here to answer them tonight. We're also going to be going through our top tips for attracting younger women. So point number one is love your gray, love your baggage. Before I get into that, most of the older guys I coach have no clue about this stuff. Not long after I graduated high school, two of my close friends started dating guys in their 40s. And this was around the age of about 20, early 20s. And when I started modeling, I found this to be a pretty consistent pattern with many of the more intelligent, emotionally mature girls that I worked with. So, a large group of younger men basically just refuse to date guys anywhere near their own age. And that's mainly because they've got no money, no life experience, haven't traveled much, they hardly ever read books, they don't have much relationship experience. They're basically just immature, and they're often drinking, partying, taking drugs. Some guys even doing this well into their 30s and 40s, which is just not desirable. So we also find that a lot of the more desirable younger guys basically just want to sleep with as many girls as possible, regardless of how good their women that they are with are. So it's, for women, it's just like banging their heads against a brick wall. Girls with higher IQs who are more cultured, more mature, they just can't stand guys their own age in a lot of cases. James is going to be talking a little bit later on about some of the greatest women in his life. Hi, James. And their experience with dating older men and how that's kind of shaped them relationship-wise as well. So welcome, guys. We've got a few comments coming through. Hi, Wayne. Hi, Steve. Nice to see you guys. Some familiar names, some new ones. Say hi if you're new here, guys. We're here to serve you. So say hi in the chat for us, and let's get stuck in.
Yeah, so we're really specializing in older 50s tonight. For you guys in your 40s, there's still tremendous value. But yeah, what is it? You're going grey. You don't have the abs or the body you used to. You might have had a nasty divorce. Many of you have kids. There's all these things that, what if, it's a whole post-Harvey Weinstein Me Too thing. What if some girl gets really upset with me? There's all this stuff going through your mind, and understandably. But we can so often help you with this. There are answers to that, as Tess did a pretty good job of summarizing. There's a huge group of younger women. They just don't want to date guys their own age. They just don't want to. I'll talk a bit more about that in a second. So yeah, hey, Wayne. Hey, Steve. Got a question early on. What do guys think if guys can do if out of practice? What are some quick ways to build social intelligence for dating after being single for years? Fantastic question. Do you want to have a go at that, Tess, or do you want me to?
What do you guys think if guys can do if they're out of practice? What are some quick ways to build social intelligence for dating after being single for years? Okay, cool. Number one, book a session with me. I can help you straight away. But yeah, social intelligence is about reading signals is a big one. I think also understanding social dynamics within a room. So yeah, if you're able to kind of be prominent within a certain social context, you're going to be drawing attention immediately. But yeah, reading signals is really, really important as well. Being able to understand when women actually want to be approached, and when you're having a conversation with her, if she's enjoying herself, or also picking up on her cues for what she actually wants to talk about, etc. as well. I think those are the main ones for social intelligence.
I'll jump in if you want. Tess, if you put a banner up, what to do if you're out of practice, over 50 guys who are out of practice. That's a great question. Who is it, Wayne? Thank you for that, Wayne. You just got to start somewhere. And many of you guys, over 50, you've been single for a long time, been focused on your career. A lot of you would have been through a divorce or a really nasty, toxic breakup. So you got to understand, to some extent, you got to have training wheels again. And the dating in the 2020s is very, very different to dating in the 2000s, the 1990s, and certainly the 1980s. Just brave new world differences. So what you want to do is you just got to start somewhere. So the first thing we get guys to do is, do you have many male friends? If you don't have a great deal of male friends, that's a problem. So you might, I mean, we have guys, who you might have had the best life. They're booking time with Tess. And the first thing we want to do is improve their social skills to go out and meet male friends. So whatever it is for you, it could be, watching the football, it could be jiu-jitsu, it could be surfing, it could be whatever you're doing. I mean, some guys, it's just the gym, anything, just where can you meet like-minded male friends? Because, I mean, yeah, a lot of guys who follow this pickup artist nonsense is like, you got nothing going in your life. You've got no hope, no friends, no nothing, and you're somehow going to wave a magic wand and have women interested in you. If you don't have any male friends, that's probably step one to getting a girlfriend. Just get some male friends in your life, because it's a very similar overlap. Once you deal with the male friends, I mean, everything starts with getting the confidence, getting the social skills. Then whatever you can think of, you might get along to meetup groups. You might walk your dog in the park and be more friendly. You might just start talking to checkout people or sales assistants or waitresses or barmaids. Wherever you can just start talking with human beings is going to make a huge difference. The simple fact about the world we live in today, post-COVID, post this information revolution, is most people spend most of their life here, and a lot of their socializing is on whatever, online. So yeah, a lot of people need some massive brush ups in social skills, including women, funnily enough, which isn't really a thing before. So there's a lot more advanced stuff you can do. But if you're over 50, you're out of practice, you want to get back in the swing of things, start with male friends, look for some easy ways. And then once you do have some male friends, the best thing to do is to start just going out with the male friends to places you can meet new people. Fantastic. So we might move on. That's a great question, Wayne. Thank you. Next one, Tess, forget PUA cold approach, learn social engineering. Forget PUA cold approach, learn social engineering. So yeah, so many guys, they hop on YouTube and they've got these crazy ideas about women where you just go harass them in the street, or you do these stupid approaches at bars dressed like a Fruit Loop saying Lord knows what. No, especially if you're in your 40s or 50s, you need a much more mature approach. That might be okay if you're running around at university or something. So Tess, did you want to say anything about what it feels like for a beautiful woman, who could easily be in her late 20s or even mid 20s, who's in her mid 30s? What's it like if some guy is clearly 50 or older comes up and just starts harassing you in the street? I shouldn't say harassing, trying to talk to you in the street. How does that land with an attractive girl?
Okay, if that depends. If they do it skillfully, there's no problem. But if you're doing like a pickup line, pickup artist stuff, where it's just so cheesy and it's so obvious, it's just cringe. It's so cringe, and it's also really creepy as well. Someone comes up to you, is like, oh, I just had to come over and say hello. I couldn't go. I couldn't forgive myself if I didn't say hello to you today. I noticed you from across the room or something. It's just like, oh God, this guy's been checking me out, like gross. Just automatically causes you to have a barrier up. So any of those sorts of lines or just cheesy lines that are obviously they're not casual, they're not natural. It just is. It's like alarm bells going off in a woman's mind. She's like, okay, pick up line. This guy obviously comes here to pick up women. This is the line he uses. It's just so obvious. So it's not a great way to start. And yet, particularly for older guys as well, who we expect to be beyond that and to be a little bit more down to earth and just able to connect in a real way, that becomes really, really cheesy. And it's a bit of a red flag for like a guy who doesn't have much experience with women.
That's great, Tess. So yeah, you want to do what we call social engineering. That again is to find an environment where you like to be, related to your hobbies and interests, and to just meet people there, meet whoever. If it's a gym, it's a personal trainer. If it's a cafe where you go to work when you don't need to be in the office, it might just be the waitress or the big guy with big muscles who makes the coffee or something. You just got to make friends in that environment and become what's considered to be one of the social leaders in that environment. Now, this is a strategy that's worked insanely, absurdly well for me. Yeah, as we said, the other, I'll get into this. Yeah, I've been able to get far more sex than I deserve at cafe bookstores, at bookstores. There was an instance where Borders Bondi Junction, there was a smoking hot girl with like a natural porn star chest. And I basically made friends with her. So she'd come over and start talking to me about books. And other girls I wanted to get from the bookstore, they'd see me with this hot bookstore girl who's higher status because she works at the bookstore. I mean, that got me, a fair bit of sex, just using a really attractive girl as clickbait. I've done this in so many environments, particularly when I'm doing boot camps on bars. Yoga studios, 3 of them, I've got a whole bunch of girls out of them simply by just making friends with everyone and not getting on side with the teachers, sometimes to the point where they liked me, but then not following through with the teachers. You make friends with one teacher and get her flirting with you. You can get 12 students, just 12 for one. Which one do you want? Restaurants rate regular. I've done this. Cafes, especially if you're in a fortunate situation where you can take your laptop to work. I started doing it at the gym, but as you can tell by the big muscles, that wasn't my number one thing. Anything to do with business networking, any sort of a bar. Yeah, it's just so easy. You don't want to go hunting just like some needy loser who's supposed to, if you're over 50, you're supposed to have some things going on in your life, some hobbies, some interests, some friends, in some cases, some kids. Yeah, you're not meant to be out just, how do I get a woman? How do I get a woman? Just running around annoying them the whole time. So you've got to take a much more mature approach to this sort of thing. I think I saw some questions. I think Wayne said, oh, thanks, Steve. Sounds really good. Wayne's saying, yes, I'd like to see that smile of you more, Tess. Yeah, she's got one hell of a smile. Yeah, Wayne will explain how you can get a one-on-one with Tess a little bit later. For sure, you can get one of them. Wayne says, my experience when you're over 50, there are less friends because they all have kids. That's a very, very fair point. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of problems with being over 50. Like you start to lose your hair, you start to go grey. It's much harder to be anything like the shape you were in your 20s or 30s. And yeah, a lot of guys who haven't had kids, a lot of their friends will have kids. That's where it's really incumbent upon you to go out and meet either guys who've got, grown-up kids who are ready to have a bit of fun, or some guys, like you and like me who haven't had kids. So again, you've got to use the skills that we talk about on YouTube Lives and Test teachers. You just got to go out and you got to put yourself out there and you got to make friends. Now we coach a lot of engineer types, a lot of highly educated people. It sometimes can be quite hard to go out and make a ton new friends when you spent, 20 or 30 years of your working career basically huddled over a computer, pushing a mouse around, going to the odd meeting. Particularly those meetings are online. So yeah, so that's a good point. Yeah, you just got to, you only get your 600,000 hours in life, and there's a lot of obstacles, a lot of difficulties you've got to overcome. That's part of life. That's part of the joy of life, overcoming the obstacles. So one of the big obstacles for so many of our clients is, yeah, they're just running out of friends because they all got into relationships. That's another service we provide clients. We have this enormous community, over time, thousands of guys, many of whom are married now or whatever. And yeah, the best results we've been able to get for our clients is when we introduce clients to other like-minded clients. Wayne, some great questions from Wayne. Thank you. We might swing back to that and do a few more points. Can you remember this question? Some great questions from Stephen Wayne.
Yeah,
thank you.
For your questions, guys.
Anyone else have questions? Fire them through. That's the thing. When I look at the graphs of this, often so many of the big upticks are when we get a good question, and particularly the supermodel smile person answers it. And you kind of like me too, but not as much as the supermodel smile person. Okie dokie. So yeah. So what's next? So yeah, that's a huge one. To just, oh, I'm a very nice person. You don't forget cold approach. Learn to cold approach is a fundamental building block of becoming successful with women. I think you almost have to have it. You have to have the ability to just go, okay, I want her. I'm going to go try to get her, and do it confidently. But it's a really, really inefficient way to fill your life with great women, like stupendously inefficient, stupid. So you just don't want to do that. Okie dokie. So stop swiping in 2026. Get Gemini, Google Gemini, then slop, even you old guys like me who are tech imbeciles, probably my clients aren't as bad as me, then just go into Nano Banana and just do Photoshop stuff with a couple of prompts that would have taken a team of experts to do 3 or 4 years ago. It's gone, it's done. Internet dating doesn't work anymore. It might have got some results in 2016 through to 2019. That's when the share price started to plummet. It's a Las Vegas slot machine designed to keep giving you these little tiny rewards, but not enough. They don't want to give you a woman you can spend a year with or 6 months, let alone a lifetime, or have a family with, because then you'll stop paying them money. You just got to stop this. It's just a waste of time. It's just the few hundred hours of your life you've got left. You've got to meet women in real life. There's really no other way. Dating apps are so fundamentally dead. It's not funny. I mean, maybe someone will launch one with a new angle, maybe with AI, but yeah, the business model is they just want to keep you paying that subscription. They don't want to give you a girl who's relationship worthy for you. Tess, do you want to add anything to that? I mean, I should just say, some guy did a test. We put up a profile with a friend of his who he described as like, above average, is like a 7.5 or something, nothing special. Girl in her mid-30s, and this is New York, admittedly. It got 5,000 whatever they do swipes, like in a few hours. It was just crazy. And then he put up a massively overweight, a considerably overweight girl, and that got like thousands of swipes in a few hours. So yeah, for a girl as attractive as Tess, catwalk model, just talk about what apps are like. If you just put one bikini picture up, or your one bit of cleavage or beautiful smile picture, what's that like? When you were on
exactly. So yeah, women, especially the more high quality women, just get bombarded with matches from men. So it means that women are ultra selective. The high quality ones are ultra selective on dating apps, but they're also very fickle as well. A lot of women just use dating apps for kind of validation or attention. And if you're not really, really standing out from the crowd immediately and kind of securing a date straight away or keeping that warm, it goes cold really quickly, because she's, the next night she's like, oh, who is that random guy? I can't even remember. It's there's like so little attachment to it that it's so difficult. Like, in saying that, we have helped some clients optimize their dating apps so that they do stand out from the crowd, and it has been okay. But again, it's one of these things, like, even if you have a lot of seemingly similar interests, etc., if you meet a person in real life and there's something about their voice or the way they dress or something that just, there's no chemistry, that's such a common thing that we hear. And not to mention the amount of scams on dating apps nowadays. So there are a few like better quality ones out there, but some of the original big ones like Tinder, etc. It's just, the quality is not great nowadays, and it's just full of scammers, full of catfishes. Just not good.
Yeah, you want to definitely. It's not a thing anymore, and so many guys just stick with it because it's all that worked for them, or all they had the courage to do. The other thing is, just some guy is meant to be this confident man. Men have to be confident. Women have to be somewhat slim and attractive. That's just the way the world is. If the way you meet girls is just sitting swiping, I mean, how, it's just not really the best. it's just not really getting off onto a good foot. Kids. What's the best way to plan dates that impress younger women without seeming try hard or outdated? I'm reading it to myself. What sort of a tosser am I? Tess, you could read it, and we'll do your perspective, because you help guys with dating.
Thanks, mate. Lots of good questions for you tonight. Yeah, what's the best way to plan dates that impress younger women without seeming try hard or outdated? Okay, how do you plan a date that isn't try hard? Don't try too hard. Keep it simple. So yeah, that's a pretty obvious one. On a first date, you don't putting her on a pedestal, giving her 5 hours of your time, and buying her things, going out to an expensive restaurant, etc. That's just makes you seem really desperate. And yeah, immediately you're giving the woman all the control, and she's probably going to make things a lot more difficult for you. Knowing that she has that amount of control. So yeah, if you're wanting to come across as a more desirable man who has choice for women, don't give her too much time. Keep it short, keep it snappy, leave her wanting more at the end of the date. Don't spend too much money. Keep the date interesting by maybe having a few points of interest, but don't let it get stale, and yeah, just be the leader, be the man. You're the one who's taking control of the situation and showing her that you can do that. That's what's going to be really attractive to her. And what else about date planning? What have I missed, James?
Just have a plan. It's like a funnel, or the plans to put up a building. You've got to know what you do at every step of the way. A guy who's not very confident, who hasn't been laid since the Obama presidency or before, or whatever, even the Clinton presidency, a guy who's not very confident but gets a bit of social skills training and follows a solid date plan can look like, wow, this guy's really got it together. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's opened the door for me here. He's taken my hand here. You can just follow our date planning training, and you can really sweep a girl off her feet. Whereas most guys, it's just like, oh, I'll take you to an expensive dinner and wear a nice dinner jacket, and just nonsense. You'd trap the girl for 90 minutes or 2 hours or much longer, just having to force conversation. So yeah, you've got to, it's probably as important as approaching. You just got to give the girl a really good experience on the date. And if you're really good, you can wing it, but you're generally not going to wing it. You got to plan it. So many guys think, you just suddenly become good with women. No, even at my level, or whatever, my level of experience, I should say, I'm nowhere near what I was 10 years ago or 15 years ago. But yeah, if I meet a girl I really, really like, I'm taking some notes in my phone beforehand after I meet her of stuff that she's interested in or to talk about. And then I'll often just come up with some open-ended questions. I've been teaching this stuff for 19 years and I still do it. So yeah, if you meet someone special, or you haven't met anyone for a long time and you meet someone, you've got to put a little bit of work into dating. It's not like a magic wand thing. It's not like God just gives it to you. And the guys I've met who are good with women, or who are great with women, they've put a lot of time and effort into it. And you just need to be great to get a great woman in a great relationship. But it's not something that it's not just a magic trick that happens or anything like that. So date planning is huge, probably not for many guys of the age we're targeting, but all the super promiscuous guys, successful in numbers terms, they've got the most insane date plans, because that's what you need. You need a funnel to take a girl from I just met her to she's agreed to see me again. You need a date from, okay, hey, you seemed okay the first time. Let's spend an hour or two together. You need a plan to go from there to kissing and sexual relationship. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. You might as well go home and watch YouTube or whatever. You might as well not do anything else. So date plans are especially important. I think he might have mentioned young women. With younger women, I mean, don't spend money no matter what her age is, but with younger women, you really want to keep the financial investment down. You want to keep it very simple, just a cup of coffee, or if you're into alcohol, or you want to get sex fast, maybe just a drink or two at a bar. You're not taking to expensive dinners. You're not buying a theatre tickets for the opening of a new opera or theatre show or something. You're probably not taking it to the footy. Box seat at the footy is probably not the best move. Just watching other guys be athletic while you sit in the stand and drink beer. So just plan something simple, just a walk in nature, a walk along a shopping street or something, and then have a few locations so it's not like you're just stuck in one place staring at each other. And if you have anything that you can walk by to talk about or distraction, I love parks. That's one of my things. What's the fastest way to fix approach anxiety without needing drinks first? Book a date with Tess. That's probably the best thing you can do in the whole world. Guaranteed at least 59 times more powerful than lots of cocaine. A date with Tess will reduce approach anxiety 59 times more than a big hit of cocaine. And that's scientifically proven. It's evidence-based research. It could be.
I think cocaine is anxiety-inducing. I think cocaine is anxiety-inducing. It gets your heart rate going. It's like not good. I think that's,
maybe. Most guys tend to feel a lot more alpha male confident. So.
Yeah, I know what you mean. More confident, but it's like, it's like overconfident. But anyway, guys, book a date with me. I'll help you. Basically, practice makes perfect. When you're practicing with me in a safe place, I make it more difficult for you as you get better as well. You basically just learn how to handle any scenario, and no woman in real life is ever going to make it as hard as I do when I make it really difficult. So once you know how to handle that, it's like a walk in the park, doing it with other women. So and it's fun. It's really fun.
Yeah, guys enjoy it. And so one of the other things about dates with Tess is your skills with women improve just out of sight. If you're gonna not get a date with Tess, you've just got to start small. Okay, when guys do my boot camp, this is what's the fastest way to fix approach anxiety without needing 3 drinks first? 3, you're lucky. A lot of guys need 12 or 14. Well, back when I was in my 20s, I needed 29. That was my magic number. Once I had 29 beers, crownies, and a few shots, then I could maybe talk to women. I needed a lot more than 3. What's the best way to talk to women without needing 3 drinks first? Start small. I mean, I don't go out to bars apart from when I'm doing it professionally. But yeah, when I do, I'm making sure that, I have dinner with my clients, or we're doing some stupid games before we actually enter the venue so that we feel happy. We try to be as talkative. We talk to the taxi driver. We might say hi to the bouncer or something. If you must go order a drink first, maybe try to chat to the barmaid who is incentivized to chat to you. Just start small. Don't walk into a bar with like 3 pickup artists and just look around like that and get a drink and just bitch about red pill stuff about how horrible women are in the West. And then there's a cute one comes in, then you just go to wagon wheel approach on her, get rejected harshly, come back, snigger about how women are bitches. Don't do that. Just talk to everyone. Talk to men, talk to women, pat dogs, just anything. Talk to old people. Just get the social muscles warmed up, which for ex-computer engineers, ex-professional office workers in their 50s, that can take some time, particularly if you're a bit lonely now because of, you don't have your family anymore, or a lot of your friends are married, et cetera, et cetera.
I was going to say, I just wanted to add to that one quickly as well, James. Warming up is really, really important. So if you're planning out and going out and being social, you need to get your body moving. Flex the social muscle, like maybe have some conversations with close friends or families just to get that going. Or do some physical exercise, get your blood moving, get your body moving. That will really bring your energy up as well. And it just makes you a lot more resilient if you do get a rejection. It kind of builds your reserve of energy at the beginning of the night, so you can bounce back really easily. So that's a really great way to deal with approach anxiety as well. Just warm up.
Thank you, Tess. Let me see. What's the fastest way to fix approach anxiety? Oh, so we've kind of done that one. How do I handle rejection without humiliating or derailing my confidence? We might swing back to that one. Let me see the comments. We've got Steve and Wayne. Anyone else with any questions? We swapped to Tuesday, so I think a lot of regulars have not shown up. So this is a really good opportunity to get a lot more some private coaching attention than you'd ordinarily expect. Okay, the female brain. Tess is of the opinion, and I kind of agree with her after she put it in a certain way, that the single most important thing men need to do to get better with women is understand the female brain better, female psychology. So Tess, do you want to run with that? This is something you're pretty adamant about. And yeah, go.
Yeah. So basically, guys, without understanding female psychology, you can learn techniques for communication, body language, eye contact, all this stuff, but you're kind of just going through the motions. Unless you understand why that stuff actually works and why that is attractive to women, again, you're just going through the motions. It doesn't really make sense. So once you understand how women think, why we're attracted to certain things, and then why certain techniques really work for us, it becomes really easy, and it also becomes easy to embody for you as well, because there's understanding behind it, basically. So this is something that I really incorporate with the way I coach. It's not just do this because it works, it's do this because it works, and this is why it works. This is how women think, this is how we communicate. So it's just about really getting that understanding, that deeper understanding around women, which is going to help you so much. This is kind of the basis for everything, I think.
Just to give you a practical example for guys, we say learn female psychology, which is a huge, enormous topic. You've got female psychology around the way they play with us and manipulate us and see if they really want us, and control us when they're shitty with us, or because you got a bit of money or something, or you're a good-looking guy, they want to control you. But there's also other aspects in terms of just the way they're very different to men. I think you've talked before about how whenever you meet up with your girlfriends, particularly if you're single, it's so much of it's about some guy you know, or some guy you're dating, or other. So much of female communication is about human relationships. If you touch on that, and also the way you guys are so feelings and emotion based, and we're so like, I like basketball, I scored this many points, the game was held here, then I went to work the next day and I made all this money doing X, Y, or Z. Just talk about how completely dominated your female conversations are with relationships, probably 90% or more, maybe even 95%, and how when you talk to your girlfriends, it's feelings and emotions. It's not like the sort of boring data exchange men have.
Yeah, exactly. So it's because that's the way we think. The way we think is all around social dynamics, relationships, etc. So yeah, when two women get together, we're always talking about relationships. It might be not just romantic relationships, it might be family relationships, or experiences, work relationships, etc. But it's always about how we feel about things and people. That's what we're talking about constantly. So if you guys are able to tap into that a little bit, it helps us express ourselves the way that feels natural for us as well. So when you learn to get us to open up to you that way, it's you stand out from the crowd, because so many guys just don't have that skill. They don't understand that that's how we communicate. yeah. For example, yeah, if I'm talking about surfing with a girlfriend, we're not asking about how big my board is and what the waves were like. It was like, tell me about the waves you were catching. What was it like? What was it like when you stood up on your first wave? Yeah, what was it like learning from your hot instructor? Whatever. Yeah, so yeah, that's just how we communicate. What else did you want me to touch on there, James? I feel like I missed something.
Feelings and emotions, questions,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that was an example of feelings and emotions questions, as opposed to the more facts and data stuff. Like women, we're not into all the fact stuff around conditions or board size, or how many points someone scored in a team sport. I don't know, whatever. We just don't care about that stuff. Like, I have friends who I've been friends with for like 15 years. I know what they do for work, as in their job title, but I literally have no idea what they actually do, because that's not important to me. It's not what our relationship is about. It's much more about just the quality time we spend together, how they're coping with life in general, their relationships with their family, their friends, whether they like their job or not what they're doing at work. So yeah, this is just to give you an idea. That's a very common thing with women.
I just give you a practical example. Tess, I suppose, referred a friend of hers to also be a female coach, and she was pretty talented. And after the boot camp, I said, "Oh, so what does she do for work?" And Tess goes, "Oh, some corporate thing." I said, I don't know. She might do recruit. She had no idea, but it's a really good point. Like, you probably know in detail what your male friends do for work, because that's what we talk about, because we're fucking boring. Whereas, like, I don't know if it's her best friend, but it's pretty close. Certainly the best friend she's made in a long time. She's got no freaking idea what she does for work, but she probably knows a hell of a lot about her relationship with whatever man she's seeing, or whatever man broke her heart, or whatever man she wants but can't get. She's probably got a Nobel Prize winning understanding of that. But what does she do for, I don't know, something. She wears like a suit to work every day. So I'm guessing it could be corporate. I don't know. But yeah, it's something in an office. Yeah, she's in an office. She just didn't have a clue. But this is men don't understand how different women are. We are so absurdly different. I don't know why in 2020 they're trying to convince us that we're not. So yeah, that's some good points on the female brain. The other thing we might touch on here is how I don't know if looks aren't that important. If you see a hot guy, it's not like, oh, I want to sleep with him, because you need a whole bunch of other things, even tall and handsome. Just that alone, it's better than not being, but it's not really that good, because there's so many other things on women's shopping list that they're looking for that us guys just don't get. It's like big boobs, skinny, pretty face. I'll do that. No other information required. And that's the majority of men. And you don't even need big boobs. I mean, just big boobs, skinny, most men will do it. You don't even need a good face. You'd be below average face. Or skinny, pretty face, not big boobs. Yep, I'll do that too. And there'll be guys who'll just stick to what's in anything that moves. Women are totally different. They've got all these standards and all these checklists and all these shopping lists. Tess, you see a tall, handsome guy who's not confident or doesn't look like he's got many friends, just talk about how that means virtually nothing.
Yeah. Tall, handsome guy, but he's doesn't have friends, doesn't have any confidence. He's the guy sitting in a corner, not talking to anyone, and poor posture, whatever. Just it tells you a lot about what's going on in that person's life, right? So when you see a person who is comfortable in their own skin, no matter what they look like, they have confident posture, they can network with people, they're smiling, they've got a lot of warm energy, that to you, they're selling like that person's got a lot of good stuff going on in their life. They understand who they are. They're confident. They've got self-esteem. That is for a reason. It's not so. Yeah, if you see a guy who's just tall and good looking and doesn't have anything else, that's a red flag. It's like, okay, this guy probably has social issues. Maybe he's like got weird trauma and like, yeah, I don't know. That's not attractive to women. So, yeah, it's really interesting how social dynamics really play a huge part in how much women are attracted to men. Put any man on a stage, public speaking, or playing in a band on stage, etc. Women are just like drooling over them because of that context, right? Take him off the stage. She doesn't know he's in a band. She's like, oh, who's that guy? Gross. Or man walks into a room with three attractive women, surrounded by three attractive women who are giving him a lot of attention. All the women are going to be looking at that guy like, what the hell, who is this guy? As opposed to a lone, tall, handsome guy who's kind of like looking down, can't make eye contact with people, and is socially awkward. She's going to be like, oh, gross, who's that? Right? So yeah, just to give you an idea of how much this is what is attractive to women. It is not just height and good looks. There's so much more which completely overrules that. Yeah, I think James, you were talking about a social study that you came across recently as well that clearly demonstrated that, and yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that was 100% true. I know for myself, I've experienced it myself. You see a guy on stage or walk into a room and all the attention's going to him, and I'm like, wow, who's that? I need to know who that is.
Yeah, because I've made most of my living public speaking in finance and as a dating coach. So I've hardly earned any other money that wasn't somehow related to that. I mean, you might call this public speaking. You could, I don't know. But yeah, even in finance, when I was just atrocious with women, like no worse than anyone who's probably ever showed up to my YouTube lives. I'm serious. It's a very unfortunate childhood. But yeah, women had just come up and hit on me after they saw me speaking. And I was talking about finance and retirement strategies and tax minimization and how to invest your money cleverly and what stocks to buy and what investment classes. And this is really boring stuff. But put a guy on stage, women want to bang him. It's as simple as that. It's so that's it. It doesn't even like. It doesn't even need to be a big stage. Just a few people paying attention to you, and women want to bang you. It's incredible. The other thing with women, I might just share a couple of anecdotes. In terms of the most beautiful girl I've ever seen with my own eyes, was the love of my life. And when I was with her, women just threw themselves at me from across rooms. And there was one extreme example where a girl I talked to for a little bit of time when the love of my life wasn't around, I went up to Canada to where she lived. And she said, "Oh, come stay at my house. We've got a spare bedroom." I'm like, "Okay," because I wanted to go see this place anyway. So I get there, and she takes a day off work, and she picks me up, and she takes me to dinner, really nice dinner. Before I could pay for the really nice dinner with this incredible view of her city, she goes and pays the bill herself. This girl's a student. I can't remember if she's a barmaid or something to pay the bills. And I'm like, oh, this is weird. I was traveling on investment earnings at this stage. And anyway, we go back, and then I get back to her place, and she helps with the suitcase. I get back to her place. There's no spare bedroom. I'm sleeping in her bed, but I don't really have many objections to that. But yeah, she lied. It's not the first time that's happened to me. And she lied. So she lied about that. So anyway, first night I slept with her, and I was pretty promiscuous at the stage, so I did a good job. 3-4 nights later, 2-3 nights later, her friends walking around topless, and I'm like, okay, this could be my second threesome. So anyway, I said, oh, it's really lame. Do you guys have some massage oil? I'll teach you guys how to do a massage. I just got this threesome. But this all started because the first girl had seen me with what I think is one of the most beautiful girls imaginable, personally. I mean, everyone thought that. People were coming up to her constantly saying, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Not every man on the planet is going to agree with me, but I was so in love. I certainly thought that. So yeah, it's just being seen with women, being seen as some sort of a leader where you're on a stage. It's just crack for women. It's just so important. Oh, we've got some of our regulars coming. That's great. Let me see. Yeah. We'll explain again.
Sorry to interrupt you, James. I just wanted to sort of tie that in with the female psychology. Like, why do women, why are we interested in men who are in that leadership role? Because we want men who are going to be able to protect us and who are going to be loyal to us and who are going to be strong and stable for us to balance certain feminine qualities, right? And yeah, it's kind of hardwired into us. So like I question why am I attracted to this guy right now? Like I actually don't think he's that good looking or anything, but the fact that he is just that leader, there's something that's so magnetizing, and it's because I think evolutionarily women, we need the guy who's going to be able to protect us from danger and know how to solve problems, know how to deal with hard things that happen in our lives. So we are drawn to qualities that kind of display those, the ability to do those things. So being able to be the leader in a given context, displays those things to us in that given context.
Yeah, I just can't highlight it enough. Most of you watching have no freaking idea about the female brain. I certainly didn't till probably post that girlfriend where I really started to understand it. But when you do it, it's cheating. There's so many things that a guy who does can see that the rest of, if you've come along to a few of these lives, you've probably flown past 98% of the population. You still got to have the practical skills of conversation and approaching and date plan to actually take advantage of it. Steve, is it too late to fix a boring personality if you spent 20 years just working? No, not at all. The great news, the unreal news is that we've had the Harvey Weinstein thing, which has scared so many guys out the game completely. You've had this whole red pill thing where you've got a substantial percentage of the population that think women are evil and manipulative and all they want are rich guys and they'll marry up at any section. And, if you're in a long-term committed relationship and a girl gets a chance to sleep with some guy who's 3 inches taller and 10 kilos heavier than you, she's automatically going to do it. You've got this horrendous misogyny about women, just like the wacky feminists horrendously. What's the word? What's the word for women who hate men? Is it misandry or is that hating the human condition? I can't remember.
I was called the man haters.
Yeah, there's an M word. What's the term for a woman who hates men? A feminist. in 2026, that's pretty much it, because their views are completely wacky. I should say to any feminists watching, I think if I could have any woman parachute into power, the US presidency or something, it would be Naomi Wolf, who is very much one of the most famous presidents of all time, but stupidly intelligent and like morals, like and courage, like you can't even believe. So is it too fixed? No, it's not. Too late to fix your boring personality. It's not. The thing is, because of COVID, because of the Me Too, the red pill, all these guys running away, because of the family law court system, which has just completely destroyed so many men psychologically, driven them to suicide, and the others who haven't been through that, they've seen their friends go through it. Because of this, most guys have just pulled out. Now, the reason guys go through all this red pill nonsense, family law court stuff, in many cases is because they just don't understand women well enough. So many of the worst family law court things I've seen is just a guy who just got the girl largely because of the success or the money, or sometimes even tall, handsome success money. But he was never really good with women to begin with. And the woman, when she got well over her prime beauty years, she just got sick of him and resentful and started to hate him. So yeah, the point is, so many men have opted out. So many men are completely useless. You don't even need to be very good in 2026 to get incredible results with women. Some of the student stories I see, it's like, how the hell did you get her? How'd you have 4 girls on the go at once? Not even very good. It's just, you don't need to be. Tess and I just touch, eye contact, body language, elite level conversation skills, a decent idea of female psychology, have a decent date plan, be able to read signals. If you just get a 4 out of 10 in each of those categories, you're just going to fly past everyone. I'm not saying 3 supermodels will land on your dick, but you'll date dramatically better women than all your friends. And yeah, I mean, obviously Tess is a master at helping you with that. So if you do have a boring personality, it just takes a little bit of work to fix it. It's just like, I keep saying this, but if you've had a son who got bullied a lot at school, and you take him to a really good MMA teacher, and if he's really skinny or small, maybe lift some weights, it's not going to take that many lessons before the bully who doesn't do MMA is going to have his ankle torn around twice, or his shoulder dislocated, or his nose broken. It's just, there's a simple skill set you learn, and you'll destroy everyone who doesn't have that skill set, even if they're much stronger or bigger than you. I keep saying, what's his name? Habib, or even Conor McGregor, much cocaine as that guy's done. How would some 100-kilo guy go in a fight against them? I mean, death within 3 minutes if you really upset them. Okie dokie, we might just do one more question, then get back to it. Hey, Adam, how are you doing? We had
sorry, I just wanted to say hi to some of the people. Yeah, hi Luke, hi Adam. If you're new here as well, say hi in the chat, guys. We love your contributions, your questions, your comments. We've had some really great ones tonight. So yeah, thanks. If anyone's just joined, say hi in the chat. I wanted to say as well quickly on that last one, how do you fix a boring personality? Sorry, James, there's something I really quickly want to add to this. What is a boring personality? Does that mean you don't have many hobbies? Does that mean you don't think there's much interesting stuff to talk about that you have to talk about? That is not important whatsoever. That is not important whatsoever. What is important is getting the woman to talk about something she really wants to talk about. So if you're just able to have great, warm energy and ask engaging questions and show that you're interested, that's all you need. That's all you need. That means you have a great, interesting personality. The fact that you're interested to learn learn about whatever the woman wants to talk about, right? So don't get caught up on the fact that you potentially don't have any interesting hobbies or whatever. You can work on that. And what sort of overrules all of that is bedroom skills. So even if you have no other hobbies, if you're really, really good in the bedroom, then the woman won't care at all. You're going to blow her mind. So just to give you an idea there as well.
Yeah, that's one of the most popular units in our course, the sort of how to go from average to well above average quickly. There's not that much you need to do sexually to get way better than everyone else. Oh God, that was an interesting point. And I got distracted by sex. Okay.
Sorry, James.
Be interested, not interesting. Be interested, not interesting. Dale Carnegie, probably my #1 role model when it comes to how to sleep with a bunch of girls and get the woman of your dreams. A bunch of great girls get the woman of your dreams. Dale Carnegie, How to Influence People. Don't be interesting, be interested. If you can be interested in the other person, particularly women, who are a wee bit self-absorbed, particularly beautiful women who are massively, horrendously self-absorbed, and no one listens to them because they're too busy staring at their tits or drooling or trying to take advantage of them. So yeah, if you can just listen and ask good questions around beautiful women, it's like there is no competition. There is just no competition whatsoever. Thank you, Wayne. We might need to get back to the content. Miss Endry. Miss Endry. Oh, I get that. It's a miss, and she's really dry between her legs because she hates men. That's the Latin deviation of the word. Miss Endry. The miss is dry between her legs because of a man hatred. So yeah, that's interesting what the Latin people came up with to make that word for us. I just made that shit up because I need to amuse myself. I lifted weights for the first time in a long, long time. So I want to start playing basketball with guys in their 20s who are really good. And yeah, I'm just been so hungry all day. I don't know how productive guys lift weights and then go do a good day of work the next day, because my focus goes and I just want to eat all day. But when you're as skinny as me, maybe that's it. Luke, one of our regulars from the beginning. Love you, Luke. You had a lucrative finance career and threw it in for a complete change. Keen to know what that tipping point that caused you to walk away. I'll do a quick answer to that now, but if you want to ask that question again later on in the YouTube lives, I'll give you a much more comprehensive one. The short answer is, yeah, the managers and at one point the executives were just jealous about how much money I was making, and I was on track to earn more than pretty much anyone in the company. And I was young and stupid, so I just kept writing more and more business. The guy who was number one in the country, he knew intuitively when his income got to a certain level, he'd just take 3 months off and go to Europe or something. He would keep his income below a certain level that wasn't offensive to the people who were running the bank. So that they just went after me. I was saying at a dinner I was at last night that, yeah, when a big company wants rid of you, there's this operations manual on how to torture you. But as my best friends, the Stoics, would say, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, to a certain extent Epicurus, that was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life, because I would just be, I lived such a narrow life when I was in finance. It was just sport, drinking, a huge amount of education, and working myself silly, and just basically the same friends, same restaurants, same place I play basketball, same gym. It was like the most narrow, awful life. And I got to travel the world and do a whole bunch of other stuff. But I'd be worth a lot of money now if I hadn't left finance, a lot of money. But I don't regret it in any way. I could have done with a few more million, but anyway. Thank you. So, yep, let's get back to the stuff. I'd love to give you more detail on that, Luke, but we'll just get through what we promised. And okie dokie, so where are we up to? In my brain. Okay. I'm sorry, but if you're over 50, you can't be dating women 15 or 20 or 25 years younger than you, in some cases, or 30 in some cases, and be scared of them or uncomfortable around them or nervous around them, because she's not dating a guy who's 30 or 25 years or 20 or 15 years older than her for his wonderful abs and perfect bum, generally speaking. Sorry if any of you watching particularly have a perfect bum. Mine's not too bad, my skinny little body. But yeah, they're dating you because they want a mature, confident man who's got his shit together. Now, many of you watching, and certainly so many of the guys that get in my boot camps, they have got their shit together, except with the ladies. Point in question, what was he, 6'3", really wide shoulders, like muscly, beautiful jawline, not a model, but handsome face, tons of energy, we do this boxing exercise in our boot camps to warm up. I did it with him on the boot camp, and this guy was super fit and healthy. He would have been pretty good in a street fight into his 50s. So this guy sounded like a wonderful father. He had his life really together by pretty much every metric, other than the fact he'd been walking around on eggshells for like 20 years. This woman basically had him testicles in hand, pins, needles, nails on them. She must have had some weird, what they call them, dominant women things, just something you buy in some weird sex shop, where she had some claws on his testicles the whole time. And it's just like, dude, you're a little girl. You're just pathetic. You're so scared. You're so timid. You think Tess is going to beat the living crap out of you at any time. So many guys we coach really tick a lot of boxes, but for whatever, they haven't had that much experience. They've dated the wrong women, which is very common with the wealthier ones, or they've just made do with easy lays from apps or from their social circle, where the money or whatever, they might be tall or something, is why they're getting the sex. You've got to learn to be confident with women. Obviously, booking a session with Tess is a master of that. We've given you not too bad an insight into female psychology, and then it's just having the basic skills. Tess, that's what you spend most of your time doing, helping guys on Zoom. So talk a bit more about the guys you coach, what they struggle with, and what you do for them to completely turn their life around and get the results that you do.
Yeah. In the beginning, I think the biggest sticking points, like, men get stuck with boring chit chat, really bad listening, like not actually being able to pick up on what the woman wants to talk about, but also not understanding how to get her to open up to you. Things like open-ended questions. A lot of people just have really bad habits with, they start questions with, oh, is there something good coming up this weekend, or do you make equals yes or no. So that's just a habit. It's a habitual thing. So it's just about building new habits for the way you communicate, and also being able to pick up on what the woman actually wants to talk about and how to get her to open up to you around those things, right? If you can get a woman talking about something that she loves in the first minute of talking to her, she won't shut up. She'll just keep talking and talking and talking. And that gives you so much more content to continue the conversation with, right? So it's also about really good listening. That's, I think, as far as conversation goes, your verbal communication, listening is probably, it's really up there, super, super important. But also, also open-ended questions. So engaging questions, listening, and then we kind of, that's the basis, and we kind of layer upon it from there. So those are some of the things that guys struggle with in the beginning. Beyond that, it becomes more about creating a really authentic connection. So going past just the superficial level stuff, which is like, what do you do, but more getting towards the more personal things, which is more around who she is, right? And so that's questions which might cause her to talk about her upbringing, or childhood memories, the way she perceives herself, her deeper values, more feelings and emotions type questions, etc. So that's, when you're getting a woman to then open up around those things, you're actually forming trust and you're forming connection around things that she might not have shared with other people. And that feels like a really, authentic connection, and it's memorable as well. It's not just like some superficial chat that she has with every single person who's like, hey, what's your name? How are you? What do you do for work? What do you like to do for fun? It's just this boring conversation that she's probably had a million times, right? You're actually talking about real things which are really important to her, things that make her who she is on the inside, right? What makes her heart sing. That's kind of the next level to beyond the initial rapport building. And then beyond that, you're layering in all the escalation and more nonverbal things like touch, eye contact, body language, reading signals, etc., etc. So that's kind of how it goes.
When guys do their first one or two sessions with you, what would be your top 3 tips for guys watching? What like, there's so many things I know. There's like a list of 20 things that guys could get wrong that many guys do constantly. But what would be the 3 most common things?
Yeah, I kind of talked about this. Yeah, what are the 3 most common things? There are lots of things. Everyone's really different. So, I mean, again, just going back to open-ended questions, that's one that's huge. That's really, really huge. I think the opening is always really, really important as well. Not just chit chat, small talk stuff, like making an impact early and to elicit something of really high value straight away. This is initially, I'm talking like first 2 sessions, right? Usually guys learn that pretty quickly. But yeah, what's a number 3? Yeah, probably just the feelings and emotions questions. Yeah, a lot of guys are really stuck in closed-ended facts and data. So a lot of the clients we work with are engineers, accountants, doctors, problem-solving guys, IT guys who, their job is to ask closed-ended questions and to solve problems. So you kind of bring that into your social life as well. And that doesn't really work for dating. It becomes really difficult to build rapport and connection with women when you've got those habits. So we're just trying to learn some new things in the way you communicate. And yeah, it's actually really easy, guys. It's really easy. And practicing with me is one thing, but then once you understand what to do and you take that into your real life, outside of our coaching sessions, and you're practicing day to day with your friends, your family, people who serve you in, in service roles, or your work colleagues, etc. You're enforcing these new skills, and it becomes really, really easy and really fun because you start to see how much people really engage with you and open up to you. And I've heard like countless beautiful stories about people just really bettering all relationships in their lives and feeling like they're so much more connected with people in general just by implementing like a few small things and being more aware of how they communicate.
I've just put the top 3 in the chat for you guys. Just a bit of a story. I talked to one of my favorite clients I've onboarded in quite a long time. He's ex-finance, funnily enough. He just lost many, many, many millions of dollars. In fact, if I'm correct, he's lost basically all the money he's ever made in his life. And is he 62 or late 50s or something? And he had a horrifically bad health issue as well. So this guy has basically been on the ropes being destroyed by Mike Tyson for 2 years. But he hasn't done the boot camp yet. He is so happy about what Tess has done for him that his overall level of happiness and enthusiasm for life is relatively high. So despite the fact being whatever he is, late 50s, early 60s, losing everything, like everything. Quick tip for you. I think what happened was he must have had some telemarketer calls or some fake calls. This is scary for me putting stuff online. They've used AI to call banks and call stockbrokers and get money out of basically every account he had. So anyway, the reason I was sitting listening to a guy on the phone going, Jesus Christ, man, I lost a lot of money because of the COVID lockdowns, which was brutal. But this guy just gone. But he's still so optimistic about life. So I can't believe I've got these skills. Because of his health problem, he's probably not the most attractive guy right now, which you can hope to get back. Just the way women are reacting to him, he's never had this before in his life. And the guy's spent his whole life trying to be rich, and he got to be rich. he didn't tell me the exact number, but many, 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 many millions. But he's so happy about what Tess is doing for him, and he's so pumped about the next boot camp. So that just gives you a bit like me. I wasn't doing it long enough to get properly rich, but I was making a lot of money, and then I just got cut before I even really started in terms of building a proper net worth. But I'm so happy that happened to me, because it let me actually live, not just focus on making money. It's probably maybe the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm getting the second most painful thing that's ever happened to me is the best thing that ever happened to me. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoics. Okay, you must learn to be confident with women. So what Tess said was open-ended questions. Maybe this is why we have guys have trouble. Guys don't book the sessions with Tess that often, because they think open-ended questions, you got to neg them, and you got to dress like a Fruit Loop, and you got to have all these fancy banter lines, all this silly pickup artist nonsense. It might sound more convincing to the average logical reasoning guy than what we talk about. Probably why a lot of these guys made more money than me. And then feelings and emotion questions. I've never heard any dating coach ever say that. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if any of you are watching, stop copying me. You've been copying me for 20 years. I'm jealous you've made more money than me, and in many cases coached more people than me. I don't think many people have coached more people than me on a boot camp. There'd be very, very few, because I'm well into thousands. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get back to the next point. Good job on that, Tess. Thank you.
No worries.
Okay, we are the honest dating coaches. I never got to do it in my 20s, but in my 30s, I ran through quite a few young ladies and got tremendous enjoyment out of it. Tremendous enjoyment, particularly if it was 2 at a time. In my early 50s, that prospect doesn't really turn me on. I don't want to be up till 1:30 in the morning, and then she says, no, I'm not sleeping with you tonight unless you move into the rape category, which I'm not ever going to do. Or up and you succeed at 1:30 and you're up till 5 in the morning sleeping with her. Oh, I've got to go have some food. I'm too hungry to sleep now. I've been trying to screw, then screwing all night. And then you've got all these girls on the go, and it's all this stress, and one's freaking out and going nuts on you, and just there's all this drama and stress, almost like a full-time job, sleeping with lots of girls. Most of the guys who tuned into whatever we called it, over how to date when you're over 50, you don't want to do that. You just want one good woman. But yeah, unfortunately, you got to kiss some frogs. So if you want to find a woman to grow old with, if you want to have the skills to maybe, have a woman for 5 years, a woman for 10 years, maybe then a woman for the last 20 years of your life. If you want to do that, you have to devote a little bit of time to dating. Now, we do it more efficiently than anywhere else in the world if you combine that with the dates with Tess and learning all the skills and brainstorming why this date worked out or this one didn't, or why that girl didn't like me even though she really liked me at the start. That's all really good stuff. But yeah, it's not like the movies where she just appears in front of you, gliding along, and then this beautiful girl just falls in love with you. That shit just doesn't happen. It's like one day I'll win 100 million in lotto and all my problems will be solved. It's just fiction. So you've actually got to go out there, and you got to realize that in my life there's been 10 girls. I thought this is going to be one of the great women of my life. And I'm thinking this could be the next, whatever the great women of my life's names are. And I realized like a week or 2 weeks or 3 days later, she's a complete whack job. I was telling some guys last night about a New York model I met who was a really talented actress. And first day, was unbelievable, so charismatic, 144 IQ, rich parents, charismatic as hell, similar interests. She freaked out the next night and got drunk. And then the next night she came over looking like hotter than any American girl I've ever seen nearly. And then just freaked out. And a short time later, she's in the kitchen fucking playing with knives. I can hear her playing. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was really scared. And I had to somehow get her out of there. You don't want to sleep. She made me try forever to sleep with her. And eventually I thought, no, this is not a girl I want. Just too many women's tests too scared, too nervous around me. So I started to get her out of there. And as soon as I started to get her out of there, she says, "No, I want to sleep with you again." I still remember the shorts. Anyway, there's men on this. She wore these tiny little shorts. They were like these running shorts from the 80s. But they left a big chunk of she had like very white skin, a big chunk of her white ass hanging out. Then she had those like look over glasses and a bit of cleavage. I was anyway, I'm still drooling thinking about that. Anyway, enough of my stupid stories. I'm not impressing my best staff member here. She was just ridiculously hot. But yeah, she was a whack job. And yeah, you're gonna find a month. I mean, I get to the whack jobs quicker than you because I provoke them a lot more with emotions and good sex and stuff, and being very sure of myself and prepared to walk away. But yeah, you're gonna kiss some frogs, dudes. So yeah, how to date when you're over 50, dating tips and attracting younger women. If you think you're gonna do a session with Tess and some wonderful woman's gonna land on your lap, and then you'll go on this magical date like the movies, then it'll end up in a relationship will last the rest of your life. Go look at some scammer on YouTube who's got no idea what he's doing and follow them because there's a little bit of work involved. But yeah, Tess will get you results 50 times quicker than doing it yourself. Not just Tess and Natalia and Val and Coda and me and my approach coaches. But yeah, it's not you meet this girl and it's happily ever after. You think I only need to say this to women, but so many guys are just following for this gigantic Hollywood con. Tess, you don't seem to have a big peer group of whack job friend women, so you're not the best one to ask us. Do you have any perspective on kiss some frogs? Kiss a few frogs, actually, particularly in the state we're in now.
Okay, so doing some training with me is one thing, but if you find yourself with a really high quality woman and you want a longer term relationship, but you don't have much experience with women, it's going to be really hard for you to sustain that. So yeah, guys, you want to have experience with dating because you learn from your mistakes, right? And the more different types of women that you date as well, you're going to be learning so much. It's like infield experience, right? Around how women are in relationships. So it's really important for the bedroom, for dating, for longer term relationships. Like you need to build up your experience, right? So once you have the skills to be able to do that, you need to do that. You can't just save yourself for your princess and then when she comes along you're not ready, you're not equipped to deal with that. So yeah, it's really important to kiss some frogs or just get yourself out there, build your experience so that you're working up towards the princess, right?
Tap some toxos. But I'm trying to do some alliteration here. What's the word for whack job and a word for sex? I don't know. I'm not doing very well at this. Usually I'm better off the cuff. Sleep with some psychos. There you go. Bang.
They don't have to be psychos. They can just be
fornicate
women.
With some freaks. Fuck some freaks. It's going to happen. You just got to do it. And the freaks are good in bed. I've got to be circumspect. I mean, I've hired 50, 60 models as female coaches, and one or two of them were pretty bloody sexy. But some of the ones that were the sexiest, it's just like having had a professional relationship with them. I sometimes go to sleep at night feeling sorry for the man they ended up with. It's just like, how could you ever put up with that? I'm just sort of co-worker boss, and I can't stand her for more than X period without any sex involved. So yeah, there's a lot of girls you just don't want to date, and we're going to help you so much with that. But yeah, again, whatever learning phase you go through, it'll be so much faster if you work with Tess. In terms of how to work with Tess, we had a few guys asking about dates with Tess, and I just screwed that right up. So I had the wrong button, so it's got to be that button. No, not that one. Tess, can you save my skinny last? Okay, I haven't got this set up. So that's a beautiful Tess. That's the team of women she's the boss of. That's her working on Zoom. And yeah, I should delete these slides. So yes, if you want to radically change your life, particularly if you're over 50, you've only got 100,000, 200,000 hours left. And you know, even if you're very healthy, dementia and Alzheimer's is coming. I'm selling this really well, aren't I? If you want to just get the woman of your dreams, like 2 months from now, which is possible, we've done this before. What you need to do is book a session with Tess. There should be a link in the chat soon. And what will happen is she'll meet you tomorrow and you'll practice your approaching, you'll practice your dating. She'll give you feedback about everything you're doing right, or whatever you're doing right, everything you're doing wrong, and exactly what you need to do step by step to improve. And she'll turn that into a plan. As part of this process, you're going to get better than 95% of guys at approaching and probably 98% of guys at conversation, simply just with the structures and the openers and the help that she gives you there. Possibly the most valuable thing of all is we identify the 3 things that are most profoundly holding you back. I'd be surprised if you even knew one of them. Most guys, oh, he's got to get out and do more approaches and everything will be good. No, if you've been approaching quite constantly and you haven't got what you want, there's a problem with your approach. And yeah, it really will change your life. I've been doing this for 19 years. Tess is the best coach I've had. We will change your life, even if this 45 minutes is all you do. So yes, I can't sell this point enough. You're just trying to beat the average American or average Australian post Harvey Weinstein, post the technological revolution, where most guys spend their time on YouTube, YouPorn, and what else? Watching sport on cable TV. That's all they do with their life. And then some of them whine about women on red pill forums or something, or MGTOW forums. There's no competition. Just look at them right, have some good questions, touch them on the shoulder. You've destroyed everyone, but you got to know how to do that. So yeah, click the link below. We charge $1,500 for this. So yeah, you're getting it tomorrow. I think we charge you $29 if you apply. You don't need to pay now. We'll just give you a quick call and make sure you're not some freak show who's going to freak Tess out. And as long as you're not a freak show and you're somewhat suitable for the session, we'll let you loose on Tess tomorrow. So any of you watching, there will be a link in the description. Can you see my skinny little arm? I did weights, so who knows? It'll be a tiny bit bigger in about 6 months' time if I eat enough chicken and fish. So yeah, click the link in the description. Oh, that's not, yes, I updated it. So yes, we have 1 spot left or 2 spots left. We might have 2 spots left. I think this AI is doing something weird. We had an unusual number of guys pull out. So actually, if anyone wants a bargain, now's your time to get it, because yeah, we had guys pull out on late notice. We may have had another one today, which is really annoying me. So if anyone wants a bargain boot camp to bang bonza bitches, a bargain boot camp to bang bonza bitches. The Australians will appreciate that more than the American. Click that link below and you can get your bonza boot camp to bang some bonza bitches. I don't know, whatever I said the first time. I was quite happy with that. Okie dokie. So Tess, did you want to say anything about your magnificence before I get back to the slides?
Yeah, guys. So yeah, again, it really doesn't take all that much to really stand out from the crowd, and it's super fun. It's super fun. You know, James was talking about a client, Luke, who's like lost everything he's earned. He's lost a lot in his life. He's gone through some serious health issues, and he is just so happy. Like, he's got this new lease on life. He's just from learning these skills and having fun with it. He's really, really embraced it. And so, yeah, it is so much fun. Like, once this stuff starts to click into place and you're seeing results just from, you know, yeah, increasing your your communication skill with your family, your friends, at work, your networking. It's just, you know, it's just like a the momentum just keeps growing, and it gets more and more fun. It's really empowering. It's life-changing. And yeah, this is why I do it. I absolutely love seeing the transformations that come out of this and the confidence that grows. So yeah, I'd absolutely love to work with some of you guys. It looks like we've had some really lovely comments from some of the regulars, and a few look like they're going to book in. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the near future. Really excited.
Yeah, I only had this conversation 2 days ago. So it's basically like, I don't know what the number was, but it's like 8 million, 10 million, 12 million. It's a lot of money. The guy has been wiped out of everything. He rode gold for 2 years or something and timed it perfectly, got out at the top, and he had all this money in cash. And I think he sold property because of some trading bets he made. I think he's even sold property from his self-managed super fund. That's a retirement account for Americans watching. So he's just been wiped out. And he basically said, I've lost all my money and I'm late 50s, early 60s, but Tess is coaching me on Zoom. So that's better than $8 million or whatever it was. So yeah, I'm not lying about this. Anyone who's on the next boot camp will get to meet him. I can't wait to meet this guy. He's really digested the Stoics. He's such a legend. Anyway, let's get on. So, kiss a lot of frogs. Get Me Too insurance. Can anyone tell me what Me Too insurance is? Read young ladies' signals. Tess, give me the top 3 signals the guys need to look out for.
As in signals that they want to be approached. Is that what you're saying?
We might just do look over the rounded shoulder. I'll do it, and you guys will want to fucking throw up. Worst tranny of all time with that big red nose.
Yeah, so basically if she's like double taking at you, kind of like looking away and then kind of looking back and playing with her hair, and she keeps looking back, that sort of thing, that's a really obvious sign that she's interested. She's probably wants you to come over. Some of the other really big ones are, yeah, just generally playing with her hair and being really loud, playing with her jewelry, just putting herself around you or in your line of view, and you're constantly like, oh, there she is again, because she's trying to draw your attention without her literally having to come up to you and tap you on the shoulder and say hello. Like she wants you to take that first step, but she wants you to notice her. Yeah.
That's great, Tess. That's your Me Too insurance. Now, Tess has talked, because I asked her, I prompted to do it. Tess has talked about examples related to, you've seen a girl, a girl's seen you, you may have looked at her and she's sending invited approach signals. The other thing is, like when you're on a date and it's like that huge, this used to scare the shit out of me so much I never did it. You're on a date with a girl, you only get 1 date a year because you're a loser. Like, I was a loser. And you so badly want this to work. And you're like, when do I kiss her? What did that mean? She was much more into it half an hour ago. Did I say something wrong? Does my breath stink? Did I say something bad did I say something politically incorrect? And all this crap's going through your head. But when you can read signals, you know 98% of what's going on. It's a superpower. The most popular unit in the course we give guys when they come into our program is on reading signals. I've had so many compliments about that. One of probably the most loved part of one of my events is where we teach reading signals and we teach the guys how to do invited approaches. So yeah, if you can just reading signals, and honestly, in a dating seduction sense, I don't know anyone who's done a better job in the world of doing it than the course we're giving away. And we've had this feedback quite a few times. So yeah, a lot of guys, particularly guys with cash, are quite stressed. Oh, I don't know if I want to date in America or Australia or Europe or India, or the whole Me Too extremism is like a virus that's infected the world. It's gone everywhere that I know of. We're sort of higher level guys with a bit of cash. We're just terrified of moving because lose our money, humiliation, jail over just complete nonsense. But if you can read signals, it's very, very unlikely that's going to happen, or at least the likelihood's cut down by 99%. But look at me. I'm having as easy a time now with women as I did when I was 37 with a whole bunch of bisexual girlfriends, including models on the go, or even early 40s with a whole bunch of bisexual girlfriends on the go. Not a speck of gray anywhere. And I probably look healthy at 54, but I'm nearly 55, close to 55. And it's still so easy for me. And I think part of it is that most guys have checked out. There's not many options left. The way I dress, the way I hold eye contact, all the skills I have that I teach you guys. But yeah, I can read signals. I see things that 999 out of 1,000 other guys don't. So I see opportunities where most of you guys are clueless. And the better looking you are, the more money you've had, the more easier sex has been relative to the average guy, the more clueless you probably are about reading signals. And to be honest, if you're going to try dating in today's world without reading signals, get a good lawyer. Even then they don't protect you because there's a whole bunch of celebrities whose lives are falling apart. I presume they've got good lawyers. I just fly through this one. Look the part. I mean, we get guys who come into our program, and one of the first things we do is we get you to send pictures of all your clothes, and Tess initially assesses it, and then we often will pass it on to me or some of the other girls to get a backup assessment, to give it something like which glasses suit you more. Is this a story worth having? Yeah, I don't like getting my glasses updated because I think it's a con to chew you out of your money. So I've had these glasses since 2004 or 2005. So I don't want to get the prescription updated. So no one in Australia will do it. So I got these ones. And I sent Tess pictures of me in different glasses, which many of my clients who wear glasses do. And she went, not them. No, I'm exaggerating, embellishing a little bit to make the story fun. But yeah, it was pretty clear. Stick with the 2004 model. They're not great, but yeah. For any Australians watching, you look like Dame Edna Everage. And we do all this. You probably think it looks good. We had like one of the hottest guys you can realistically imagine, one of our last boot camps. He thought he looked good. He looked like a dill, complete dill. But he would have never known that if it wasn't for Tess, and to a less extent me. So you got to look the part. You got to dress like a cool older guy. And so many rich guys that they go to some stylist or something. You just look like a wanker trying to bang young girls. You don't want to do that. And most guys can't pull this off. They just don't know. And oftentimes going to a stylist or following the big YouTube stylists, it's like they understand style. Some of them understand fit, but they don't understand social dynamics. They don't understand female psychology. It's like you're just trying too hard. I was saying this at dinner last night to a really freaking good-looking French Canadian guy. He looks like Enrique Iglesias or something. And he's got his white linen shirt and his beautiful pants and his leather sliders with half his ankle showing. He's got all his jewelry. He's trying so hard to get girls, and so many of you do this. And I've learned stuff from looking at the girls where, if a guy's got a good body, he wears a slightly fitted t-shirt. But a bunch of female trainers saying, don't do that. You're just trying hard to get laid and you're an attractive guy already. There's so much to look the part in female psychology. Tess, given you're the one who does most of the work of these, do you want to talk some more?
Yeah. So guys, remember, age appropriate is quite important. A lot of guys either try to dress too young and follow weird trends and stuff, which is, it kind of shows insecurity. Like a simple timeless look is much more appropriate, right? So keep it simple. Don't be worried about what all the young hipsters are wearing, because those trends change all the time and they're shit. So go with the timeless, simple look. And understated is best. Like, you don't want to be looking like you're trying too hard, wearing some costume that's trying to, get a lot of attention, or yeah, overdress for the context where it just looks like you're trying way too hard to impress. That just makes you seem undesirable. So yeah, basically fit is really, really important. Clothes that fit you well, it makes a huge difference just having something that actually fits you. And colors that complement your skin tone. For most guys, Caucasian guys, that is, darker blues, grays, black, yeah, those sorts of tones. Just play it safe, and you want to wear shoes, accessories that are just, just plain black, or sometimes like a chocolate brown or something, but something that's really universally easy to pair with lots of different things. If you have a couple of pairs of shoes and pants that you can dress up, dress down, they're really versatile, then you can just have a bunch of different shirts, or t-shirts that you kind of cycle through, and that's great. No woman is ever going to judge you poorly for those clothes. She's not going to think, oh, why isn't he wearing something more colorful? No, it's generally the other way around, where she's like, oh wow, what is that horrible Hawaiian party shirt that guy's wearing? Like, that's disgusting. Or some childish t-shirt with I don't know, some weird motif on it that just looks like, a 5-year-old could be wearing it, something like that. So
sorry, Tess, just on that, I know you've got a hard deadline tonight. Just on that point, when we first start, we coached a founder who got a large amount of money for his company, and this guy thought he was pretty good with women. So I think his last girlfriend was quite attractive, possibly because of his status in the industry he's in. He's had media coverage for money he raised, and he thought he was pretty good. And this guy was so bad. You remember who I'm talking about? Like late 30s. Just his opening could barely have been worse. It was just so, he made every mistake in the book. It was like quasi neo pickup artist with just, there wasn't an open-ended question anywhere. He just talked nonsense about himself and made these stupid observations. It was so ridiculously bad. And he was talking about how he lives in Bondi Beach, so it's a good place. He just has all these 2 or 3 minute conversations. He doesn't know what he's doing wrong. It's just, the guy was so bad. It was staggering. This guy maybe has 20 IQ points on me, but he had no clue. He just watched a few YouTube videos and pieced his method together, which was diabolical. It's the same with style. Guys send through their wardrobe, what they wear at the gym, what they wear to work, what they wear on a date, what they wear just going about their life, if it's hot and they wear shorts, what they wear. They're nearly all terrible. It's really so bad, like so bad. I mean, the guys from Melbourne can be a bit better than the other states, considerably better, but so many of them are just terrible as well. I mean, Americans are probably as bad or worse than Australians. So you've got no idea how these little tiny shifts, and this isn't a big money expense thing, these little tiny shifts can make such gargantuan results. It's got to fit you, it's got to suit your coloring, it's got to suit your age and personality, it's got to suit your attractiveness as well. A little bit of a hot tip: don't be like 55 and have teeth that you can see your face in. There's nothing more repulsive. The guy's got his red sports car, his gleaming white shiny teeth. It's just fake and awful and yucky. It's like some 78-year-old woman with these gigantic plastic double F cheerleader tits. It's like, oh, this is awful. Don't do that. It might not be quite that bad, but it's pretty bloody bad. We might just get through the points. Tess has got a hard deadline tonight. We're not getting the usual Sunday crowd. We thought we'd test a Tuesday, although I screwed that up. Hack Darwin with health. I honestly don't understand why it's so easy and effortless for me at 54. possibly as much as it was at 37. I mean, I'm really from 35 to 45, I was very, very promiscuous. 5 years was just, most of my sex was threesomes and then other girls. And yeah, I had despite the fact I'm not a particularly good looking guy, I had a very, very, very easy time then. But it's still going, and I'm nowhere near as promiscuous. Yeah, it's been a few years since I had hours and hours of threesomes, but I just don't understand. There is a lot of reasons to that, particularly the stuff that Tess teaches. But I think if you're a super healthy older guy and you have enough of the skills we keep talking about, I think there's some female hack which is like, oh, this guy's in his early 50s and I still want to bang him, and that they somehow conclude in their mind that the guy has been fuckable, for lack of a better term, since he was like 15. So they're thinking, okay, well, this guy's had 40 years at least of being attractive to women. So what are his offspring going to be like in terms of the most amount of reproduction? So they're thinking this guy's a really good genetic investment because he's in his early 50s. He's cool. He dresses well. He asks good questions. And he's still healthy enough that I'm sexually attracted to him. So yeah, we teach one of the most popular things I teach is a course on health, and my health is very different to anyone else I'm aware of. It's a lot. I'm not a yoga teacher or a personal trainer. I'm certainly not a doctor and don't want to be. I'm not a naturopath either, because most of these people, they've got some philosophy or some product they're pushing on you. Whereas I don't. I'm just trying to find what works, particularly in the 5-hour erection in your late 40s department, which I nailed perfectly. Can't say I've had a 5-hour one in my 50s, but I've probably got over 3 hours many times without any drugs. So yeah, and yeah, the amount of time you can have an erection with an attractive girl you're into is one of the ultimate leading indicators of overall health. So yeah, in terms of vegetables, yoga, fresh air, minimize chemical exposure. If you're over 50, you should be doing some form of resistance training. You need to lift heavy weights. You shouldn't need to do steroids or eat a bunch of protein, but just some pull-ups and push-ups and a bit of hill running or something, or you can do light weights at the gym. HRV, like maxing out your heart rate, is huge. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. Tess, do you want to talk about the degree of attractiveness of like a really healthy older guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Laird Hamilton. Look at that guy. I don't know how old he is. He's much older than me. He's like the world's greatest big waves surfer. How fuckable is that dude at whatever he is? I'll just Google his age now. Tess, can you give your 2 cents about it? And he's a surfer too. He's got a shot with Tess. Gabby Reese is pole vaulting champion. Better watch out if Tess gets near him, because she likes her surfers. Anyway, let's go on.
Yeah, so I mean, I think health is attractive at any age. But yeah, if you're a healthy guy in your 50s who's looked after yourself, not just let yourself go and I don't know, just drinking beers and watching TV and I don't know. It tells a woman a lot about who you are as a person, like, you know, your discipline, how you value yourself. You generally have a lot more energy, testosterone. Like, it says a lot about how you probably perform in the bedroom. So yeah, it's huge. It's huge. Health is number one. Like, yeah, I think that it's just so obvious when you haven't taken care of yourself, and it is a bit of a red flag, I think, for women, if you haven't been taking care of yourself, because again, what are women looking for in a man? They're looking for someone who's going to be a strong, stable leader, who's going to be loyal to them, and who's going to be able to handle issues when they arise, right? Take that leadership role, take the masculine role in the relationship. So yeah, if you're not able to look after yourself health-wise, it's not really a great indication of that. So yeah, health is huge, and it is so attractive at any age. When you look after yourself.
Tess?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, did I miss something? I was just perving at Laird Hamilton. He might be a Sean Connery, 62, and all the girls love. I don't know if he's confident or charismatic, and certainly isn't a big wave. Yeah, and again, I've got to highlight this. Being healthy is not going to the gym 3 times a week and eating protein powder. That's almost the antithesis of health. That's really dumb. I think you could debate whether it's better than nothing. It probably is better than nothing, but it's a really stupid strategy. Okie dokie. Well, yeah, Tess has got a hard deadline, so hit us with your questions.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of questions come through. A couple of people who seem to have just joined us as well. So hey, say hi in the chat if you've just joined us. Yeah, and if any of this content that we're sharing or when we're answering questions, if that resonates with you, click the love heart button to show us that you like it, and that really helps us deliver the kind of content that you guys are getting value out of. There are a few questions that we need to get through. Where should we start, James?
I'll put this one up. You can just see if I've missed some. Why do successful business owners consistently attract toxic women instead of stable ones? Because they work 12 hours a day. They often end up sleeping with their staff. They haven't done dates with Tess. They've got no idea what they're doing. They have money or perceived as having money. They're generally very, very easy to take advantage of because they're clueless. And yeah, guys with money tend to know very little about women, and most of their experience with women is on completely the wrong women. I was in finance, and my first girlfriend was like a proper gold digger, and all her friends were gold diggers. I had no idea. I just thought it was a woman because a lot of my friends were dating gold diggers, and they didn't realize it. So, but when you actually go out and be a man and learn to hunt your own meat and get your own women rather than waiting for women to come to you, oftentimes you don't think they come to you, but they do. Yeah, it's just they're so busy. If they've got a successful business, they've probably put a huge amount of their time and effort into it. So they're often very limited in other areas. Generally, the more remarkable you are in life, the more weird you are. Like Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Beethoven, Van Gogh, Nietzsche, Freud, Tchaikovsky. I could go on and on and on. Just whack jobs in many cases, just not really. I mean, Robert De Niro, from what I can pick up, so many people who are so completely gifted at one thing are just not very balanced, sensible people. I mean, Michael Jackson, there's no word other than genius for him. But he's wacky as anything. I'm not sure about whether he interfered with kids, which is horrible. There's a good chance he didn't, but he's wacky, wacky Jackie. Wacko Jacko is a perfect nickname for him. Genius, but made some of the best music will ever be made in terms of popular music. So yeah, if you're a successful guy, you've just focused so much there, and you're probably pretty clueless about a lot of stuff around. And that's why you can be very limited. You might be really good at golf, or you might be really good at jiu-jitsu or something. But yeah, generally successful guys where the money's attracted girls, or potentially the staff, or the fact that they're known to be a business owner, they just suck. One of my favorite clients in, I think, the first boot camp after YouTube, we became quite good friends. He founded a very famous Australian company you've all heard of, and many of you used several times a week. Most of you used several times a week. And he talked about whenever he had 600 staff or whatever it was, and he wore these beautiful suits, and he'd wear a new Armani t-shirt out the box, every 2 weeks or something that fit him beautifully. And he's got so much attention from women. But then when he sold his company, no one ever looked at him. He's like, what? Why did all these guys like me? And like many successful guys, when he got in the boot camp, he was terrible. Yeah, he improved a lot, and he got some results he was happy with. But yeah, just guys think they're good with women, but they're not. It's just the success has attracted the girls. So that's probably the biggest reason. Too busy. the success attracted the girls, not them. They probably don't understand female psychology. They might be programmed to only date a certain sort of girl who's like a gold digger, or at very least a climber. Tess, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I think, where women become toxic, it's kind of, or where you're attracting toxic women, there are a number of reasons. Obviously, I think for successful business owners, if you're quite wealthy and you're displaying that wealth in a way to attract women, what kind of women are you trying to attract? They're obviously going to be women who value that highly, potentially gold diggers who are quite superficial, etc. And yeah, those sorts of qualities can lend themselves to more sort of toxic type qualities. But also, what else makes a woman toxic? Sometimes it might not be simply that, it might also be that you're not able to, you haven't created a dynamic in the relationship where you're able to step up and take the masculine role in certain areas. And that can cause women to get hugely frustrated and not feel feminine. All right. And so that frustration can sometimes turn into toxicity if she's kind of taking that out on you because you're not living up to her expectations of you as a man, right? What else can cause her to be toxic? Yeah, if you're like a typical nice guy as well, that can be even if you're with a really sweet, loving woman, because women are so manipulative, and we've learned like to get what we want in society is kind of through understanding where we sit in socially in a particular environment or context, and we understand social dynamics. That's kind of our strength, right? It happens in relationships as well. So if you're just a typical nice guy and you're just always agreeable, you don't stand up for yourself, you don't have boundaries, women will take advantage of that, and they will they can start to become toxic just for the fact that you haven't set boundaries and demanded like respect, basically. So there are lots of things that can cause toxicity in a relationship. Those are a few of them. But yeah, I think this question's more around, I think it was more alluding towards like successful business owners. That was more like a money thing, which I think we covered really well. And James talked about that as well.
Where are we? Oh, some nice comments tonight, guys. Really appreciate that. What? There we go. I'm terrified of Me Too accusations. Any tips on approaching women respectfully and safely in today's world? A lot of it starts with reading signal. I mean, it is dangerous. It's really dangerous, particularly if you've got some cash. Learn the skills. It's just what we talk about repeatedly: touch, eye contact, body language, reading signals, listening, building a really good conversation. You've basically got to get most of those right in order to do it safely, which is probably not what you guys want to hear. Do the Breakthrough Bootcamp 3.0. Don't say anything sleazy. Try not to look at the woman as a sexual object at all until you've got rapport, which is funny because, I mean, in some cases with girls, the way I approach them is this. I just look them up and down and then look away and wait to see if they've paid any attention to it. Then I might approach them from there. So I'm starting off quite sexual. But yeah, for guys who don't have the level of skill, that could go really wrong. So yeah, you've just got to have the skills. It's hard to. I don't know. It's so hard because I'm not the average guy watching on YouTube. Like, I understand what it's like to be a business owner who has a lot to improve. But I don't necessarily understand that with men. I understand my students, my clients, much better than the people on YouTube because they've already spent some time with Tess and got a fair bit of skill. If you get a really bad gut feeling about a girl, that might be something you should follow, particularly if you meditate a little bit. Yeah, just learn conversation skills, learn reading signals skills, listen really well. Yeah, the whole Me Too movement has divided and conquered the sexes like nothing else. Even though the first year or two was probably a good thing, certainly the first year, where it appeared like Megyn Kelly, the ex-Fox News woman, said it just got taken off in this weird, crazy direction. It was like a clampdown on the rampant abuse of power, more so than this every man's a rapist thing. So, Tess, do you have anything to add to that? It's just learn the skills and profit from the Me Too craziness. It's just like when the stock market crashes, the really smart investors already have the stocks they want to buy lined up at a good buy price, because the immediate earnings might not change by just people on the stock market shitting themselves over something. So they already know which stocks they want to buy when it crashes down, which it invariably will. But even what I did when I wasn't close to finance anymore, when the market just crashed, I'm just like, the stimulus and the response don't make sense. That it's just way oversold. I just put a ton of money in pre-COVID, where I lost a complete ton of money, and yeah, so it's just like Me Too has made dating so problematic and dangerous for so many men. Buy. Now's the time to buy. Now's the time to buy with your ears pinned back, because every other guy is chickened out and it's horrible. Maybe if we get another Trumpian type character who's not going to go back to crazy wokeness, maybe we won't have the incredible opportunity with women we currently have, where so many other guys have checked out and got scared away, that all these great women are lonely as fuck. So now's the time to get training, get skills, and buy. Because me Too, for my clients, it's like a field day. It's like, this is unreal. All my competition's too scared. And then red pill on top of that, they think women are just these horrific creatures. And 1 or 2% of women are horrific creatures, but most of them aren't. 1 or 2% of Muslim men are probably horrific creatures, but most of them are lovely. Some people might say it's 3 or 4 or 5. I don't care. But the majority of Muslim people are lovely people. I've spent quite a lot of time in their countries. Anyway, maybe getting a bit carried away. So, yeah. Tess, do you want to add anything to that? There's not really that much to add. Just get the skills, profit from Me Too, like buying in a market pullback.
I think women are just, we want attractive women want to be valued for more than just their looks and their body, right? So it's really about having the skill to approach a woman and make her feel seen beyond that, and have a genuine, a real conversation with her where you're actually trying to get to know her, and not just ogle her beauty and point out that you think she's pretty and blah blah blah. Like you just need to focus on building authentic connection. And yeah, when you have a real authentic experience with someone like that, there's no way she's going to feel objectified or disrespected, because you're being genuine, there's real connection, you haven't been rude, you've been warm, you've been polite. Like there's nothing wrong with that at all. And you make her feel seen as well. So yeah, it's just about, it does take some skill, because I think a lot of guys are brainwashed with like pickup artist stuff, which is terrible, which is huge red flags. But yeah, it's just about having a genuine interaction.
Yeah, you be very careful where you get your information from would be another tip. Because I've seen some stuff that I'm like, Jesus Christ, that's going to get you in a lot of trouble in today's world, on different social platforms. You can read it, pretty girl.
Yeah. Okay. So welcome, Magic Fun. I've been in a situation, social barbecue event, where a girl gives me interest signals, but I did nothing, as I'm not sure how I should initiate and carry / continue the conversation. Okay. So yeah, Magic Fun. this is something I can definitely help you with. If you're able to read the signals, that's really great. That's awesome that you feel confident that you're able to read those positive signals. But yeah, the fact that you don't have the confidence to do anything about it, this is the easiest approach you could ever do. Someone sending positive signals. It's like, if you just go and say hello and ask a couple of good questions, she's going to enjoy that, right? So yeah, it doesn't take too much if she's sending a lot of positive signals. But yeah, not sure how to initiate or continue the conversation. Get her talking about something that she wants to talk about, right? So you want to elicit one of her biggest passions, hobbies, or interests in life, so that she's really opening up to you straight away and she's enjoying herself straight away. How do you do that? I can help you with that as well, but there's a bit of a formula for this, but don't get stuck in small talk chit chat like, oh, how's your day been? Oh, cool. What do you do for work? You want to get her talking about something she's really enjoyed doing lately, or something she's really looking forward to doing, in the next weekend or in the next few weeks, which is likely to be something, one of her biggest passions, right? And get her talking about that. And then you've just got to listen really well. Listen and ask more engaging questions, open-ended questions, get her talking more. So that's the best advice I can give you to start off with. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Just everything Tess teaches: touch, eye contact, body language, conversation skills, reading signals, and just structure a good conversation. Peter, I saw a documentary on Sweden. Apparently they have become so woke. It's the women who approach and proposition the men. Yeah, it's getting that way in Australia. It's getting that way around the world. Again, most of you guys can't read signals, so you don't see them propositioning you. I see it all the time. It's just like constant. Sure, I might dress a little bit better than the average guy, but that's not hard to fix. Tess can get you dressing well in days for little expense. But yeah, just women are hitting on us the whole time because women are like historically sad and lonely. And yeah, I might get in trouble for this. Men evolutionarily, someone needs to eat. We are programmed for solitude and loneliness and, not really having much of a life, because that's been the fate of the majority of men before the religions and the governments tried to sort of enforce some sort of monogamy. But women aren't evolutionarily designed for that sort of solitude at all. That they need to be social. I mean, going back to, we're out hunting and fighting, and they're in the cave looking after kids and cooking and looking after. Yeah, women aren't designed for this level of loneliness. Hence, the increasing popularity of cats. Sorry, I thought that was really funny. So it's not often I laugh at my own jokes, but that was You got to be careful of these cat girls. I was thinking about one of the great women of my life. She ticked every conceivable box a man could want. She was tall. She was a model. She was super smart. She had a crazy ass body. She was charismatic. She was sweet. She was lovely. She loved sex. She read erotic literature all day. She knew how to make me look really good in front of my friends. She actually got me a job as a dating coach. Every conceivable box, but she lived with 2 cats and she was a little bit cuckoo. So everything but the sanity. So yeah. Even the women with cats proposition men. And the worst, I'm going to call the cops on this cleaner. I'm worried she comes back with a chainsaw or a gun after me. She had a picture of her face siding up to her cat. That was her little WhatsApp photo. So yeah, be careful with the cat women. I'm sure there's some lovely. I'm a hardcore animal lover. Generally, if a woman doesn't really love animals, I don't know if I'll be dating her. But the ones who have this really strong love of cats, careful. So it's a documentary. Yeah, I mean, it's not just Sweden, it's everywhere. I had a girl from a Nordic country just go lock in on me and not give up to the point where she was so keen and so nervous in her approaching and so persistent in her approaching that I sort of pulled the plug on something I'd have quite liked to do. I'm just like, this could go pear-shaped. Tess and I talked about it after one of these. I think she was a bit surprised because she did tick a lot of my boxes, but I'm like, I don't know about this. But yeah, women approaching men, and they're not very good at it in many cases. That's awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much for your support. It looks like Tuesday, at least the first Tuesday, is not a winner for us. We might try a Tuesday again in, I don't know, 8 weeks or something. So if anyone really valued the Tuesday swap, just give us that feedback, whether it's live or in the chat, because it would be good for us to maybe do another day. We thought we'd pick up some new viewers we don't usually get. But yeah, it looks like you guys, I mean, the trend in YouTube is probably supporting us on a Sunday. But if anyone's got any opinions about anything, we might actually in following ones break down into some of the actual, go deeper into certain aspects and a bit less general. But yeah, these are super valuable. Yeah, if anyone wants to change their life tomorrow, if anyone wants a great deal on the upcoming boot camp, because I think AI is making it really tough for some people, then yeah, just click that link, book a date with Tess. I think that's at the top. Wayne's saying an 8 p.m. start or later is better. Thank you for that feedback, Wayne. Other people's feedback on that would be really valued. Unfortunately, we usually go on somewhere around the 2:15, 2:30. So I'm worried that's getting a bit late for some people. That would be better for US viewers, though. So, I mean, we could maybe test that on a Sunday. I suppose the movies traditionally start on Sunday night at 8:30, so maybe Wayne's onto something, particularly if it's still sunny and people are going, I don't want to go watch James and Tess yet because I'm surfing or walking my dog. Maybe we might test that one too. Anyway, we've got anyway. I think I'll let you guys go and let Tess go. Well, yeah. Thank you for joining in for our first Tuesday one. If any of the regulars are still here, I saw Luke, I saw Peter Dickinson. I think Magic Fun, we've seen him before. Steve Young, we've seen him before. If any of the regulars are still listening to me, then if you could just say here or something. Thanks, Peter. That's very useful metrics for us trying to serve you as good as we possibly can. Tess, did you want to say anything?
No, just thank you guys. Some really interesting questions and some awesome engagement tonight. So yeah, thanks for being with us. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. Looking forward to serving you again soon and potentially seeing some of you tomorrow.
And yeah, I'm having the experience where with obviously a bit of skill and dressing well, it's really no harder for me at 55 essentially than it was at 37 with a whole team of bisexual girls in my bed. You can call me a liar. I'll call me a liar. If I watched this 8 years ago or 10 years ago, to go, that's complete nonsense, man. You're just full of shit. But it's the truth. And I mean, me too, Harvey Weinstein, the technological revolution, the fact that the modern young man has been so completely. I was talking to a 25-year-old last night, like really smart, stupendously smart 25-year-old. They're doing like this consent and sexual harassment training in high school. It's like the guys haven't even started dating and like, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. You're a rapist. It's like you assume a man's a rapist until proven guilty. That's the state of. That's probably my best content of all time of tonight at the very last minute. Hopefully, someone enjoyed that. That's the way it is for young men and quite a few executives. If Luke's still on, he may have a 10 cents worth about that, or 2 cents worth, whatever the phrase is. Yeah. So young men under 30, it's like you are guilty till proven innocent as not being a rapist, and that's the way they're training them. It's just like as old guys who actually got to live in a time where humanity was semi-normal, we've got huge advantages. Thank you. Someone said best coaches, great stuff. Thanks, Wayne and Steve, for your awesome support. Thank you, Peter. And we hopefully start spitting out little chunks of this as short soon, and we'll blow up. Anyway, thanks, Tess. Keep smiling, and bye for now.
Hey.